Dart Talk carries the Internet Broadcast Rating TVD, a broadcast that is specifically designed to be viewed or heard by the darting community, and therefore may be incomprehensible to other lesser mammals. Darter discretion advised.
It's time for Dart Talk. Brought to you by TheDartZone.com. Stay in the zone. TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor and Windy City Fabricators, America's premier fabricators of orthotics and prosthetics, and Redwood Darts, America's newest tungsten darts. Stand straight and tall and hit them all. Redwood Darts. And now, here are your hosts, Mystery Mark and Steve P.
Okay, welcome to Dart Talk.
Welcome.
August something.
28th.
Hump Day.
Hump Day.
Show number 35 for the year.
The last one of the month.
Dart Talk brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks. Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how are you guys?
Fine. How are you?
Chat room girl got to meet the president of Windy City Darts today.
Did you? How'd that go?
He was so nice.
Isn't he nice?
Yes.
Be
He's
still
very
your
nice.
beating heart.
He was very nice.
He's a good guy.
All right.
Helping out the show and everything. Welcome, everybody around the world in the chat room. Steve Poncelman with Mystery Mark and Chat Room Girl. What do we got? What's on the show today? What do we even
We got
doing?
some results.
We have results. We have
We
results
got-
from the IDF World Cup Shanghai
Mm-hmm.
and the London, Ontario PDC North American Championship Tour event,
Championship.
obviously in London, Ontario.
Yes. Right.
So we got results from that. Also,
We have an interview.
Yeah, we have the busiest man in darts. I got a chance finally to chat with Anthony Eugenia. And we actually talked for quite a while. And we're just going to air the part that has to do with the New World Dart Series
Okay.
and the upcoming New World Dart Series event number 3, which will be in New Orleans, Louisiana, November something. The
All right.
weekend before Thanksgiving. The dates are actually in the interview, but I can't remember them off the top
Well,
of
I'm
my
pretty
head.
sure Thanksgiving is the 25th.
Is it? I don't know.
It is every year.
No, it isn't.
No?
Thanksgiving moves.
It moves.
I thought Christmas moved.
Move.
No,
No, Christmas
Christmas
doesn't move. Thanksgiving moves.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm confused.
OMG.
All right. And you
All right.
thought she
And
was
you-
drinking before the show.
Yeah. Well, I accidentally took a sip out of that thing.
It's
apparently.
not. It's water.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Anyway,
water.
my
For
bad.
for the people in the chat room,
20
if you can't
seconds,
hear
there you
us, just press F5 and refresh your browser. Sorry about the false start there. Someone forgot to hit the record button. I wonder who that could have been.
Steve.
Well, you know,
Steve.
it's on our production team.
But it's funny, and we'll do some results right away. We'll do the London, Ontario PDC North American Championship Tour results. But I just have to say one thing. I mean, I've had it with the nicknames. I was watching
Anybody's
HBO.
nicknames in particular?
Well, I don't know how many people are nicknamed the Kid. I know there's at least 3 Bam Bams. And I'm watching HBO, and they had this excellent, actually, documentary on Ted Williams. And, when he died, he was, beloved in Boston. And they showed the headline from the Boston Globe, and it just said, adieu, comma, Kid. Right? Because
Right.
Ted Williams was the Kid. I mean, and they actually talk about how he got the nickname because, when he came up, he was only 20, and everybody had been talking about this kid coming up and how good he might be. And he ended up, I think, his rookie year, hit like 40 home runs. And it was just like, ugh, the kid. Watch out for the kid. The kid's coming. And everybody knew, who he was.
Right.
And, so I'm sitting there mulling that over. And then, there's some joker on talk radio, sports talk radio in Chicago who calls himself the good kid. and it's like the good kid was Lou Boudreau, who was a Hall of Fame shortstop for Cleveland and ended up being a player manager, and then he was a broadcaster
Right.
in Chicago for like 3 decades.
Probably a Hall
and
of
then-
Fame broadcaster, too.
And
isn't
then,
he?
you know, this brain-damaged football player just decides, well, I'm the good kid. And I'm like, you can't just grab these nicknames and then just be
Okay,
like,
but
"Ooh,
if
this
you're-
is my nickname."
if you're playing,
I can't
if you're
take it
playing in the
anymore.
local dart league and people start calling you the kid, are you supposed to automatically say, "Well, you can't call me that because
you're
it's
supposed
Ted
to
Williams"?
say that one's taken.
Okay, just asking.
That way, if
What
if
these-
somebody
what-
comes up to you and says, "Hey, Tiny," I mean, Tiny was taken 100 years ago.
No, but if somebody comes up and calls somebody the kid and he's 18 years old, he
Oh,
doesn't know
look.
who Ted Williams
This,
is.
there's this.
He's supposed to say, "Please don't call me the kid. It's taken."
Well, I don't know how many darters do you know that are constantly talking about the old days or what happened in the old days, or darters keep the history going. We don't have a section in the library of dart history, right? It's
Okay.
word of mouth,
There is a book.
right? It's word of mouth, and there's lots of books. It's just none of them are any good.
So when you leave your local league and you get to start playing in tournaments and they call you the kid, somebody's supposed to come up to you and say, "Dude, you have to change your
Dude,
nickname."
yeah,
Okay.
that one's taken.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Right.
Well, not that we're the dart police, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of some of these nicknames, so we thought we would help everyone out because
Yeah,
we're the helpful show.
Of
And
course.
This isn't just nicknames.
So
it's also
well,
play on
we're
names.
the helpful show. So let's do the results from the PDC in
The
London,
Lon-
Ontario.
The London, Ontario PDC NACT Championship. We're going to do some top
hey, hang
top
on.
8 here.
Let's run the disclaimer.
Oh,
Real quick.
please,
Oh,
yes.
Please, God, do.
Yes.
Please do.
Do we have one? There it is. All right.
The views, opinions, rants, and rampages expressed on Dart Talk do not necessarily reflect individually or collectively those of our sponsors, co-sponsors, wannabe hosts, hearing-impaired critics, or those with a penchant for attitudinal dysfunction. We at Dart Talk strive to provide you, the listener, with an educational, entertaining, and fun-filled experience each and every week. If after the show you, the listener, find yourself feeling uneducated, unentertained, and or bored, we at Dart Talk consider that your own problem.
A friend
So in the spirit of
Hold on, real quick though. A friend of mine was listening to the show with her daughter
Oh,
and
yeah?
heard the disclaimer, and her daughter thought I was the one doing this disclaimer, and she said he does the worst British accent ever.
oh dear.
Oh.
Well,
I said, "Okay,
we're gonna have to add him to the credits or something.
yeah."
Goodness.
Anyway,
All right.
let's hear the results from the London,
London,
Ontario,
Ontario. Championship.
PDC North American Championship Tour Championship.
Right. Top 8. Bob bringing in the Seneve. Dan above the lobby senior. Larry the butler didn't do it. Dan, Mary, and Kate Olson are
All right,
your
so
top
that's,
8.
That's top 8. All right.
3rd and 4th, Ryan the Pottery Barnett. And Darren, not the WWE Young. 2nd place goes to Sean Singing in Narain. And your 1st place goes to Jim, the longest yard.
All right, so Jim Long won that.
Jim
Congrats to him. He's a talented local player, but honestly, for the show, we should mention that Sean Narain was the runner-up.
Yes.
We've been talking him up a little bit. I was saying how impressed I was with the way
Right.
he played in Chicago, him and Dan Lobby Jr., and there's Sean making the final of a PDC Tour event. I don't know if it's in his home country, if not his hometown. I don't know. Ontario's pretty big. I don't know where in Ontario he's
Right.
from, but we'll have to get.
That's good.
I'm going to try to get Sean on the show
Oh,
next
Christ,
week.
that's terrible. Polly, oh, Christ, that's terrible.
Uh-oh. We've already gotten negative feedback.
Feel free to jump in anytime there, chat room
I'm
girl.
doing it. This is great.
Okay, push the bell a little closer to her.
So anyway,
she
that's
remembers
our
the
contribution.
show protocol.
That's our contribution to the.
I liked the bringing in the Seneve.
I like Ryan the Pottery Barnett.
Yeah.
and singing in the
Singing
rain.
in the rain.
I
Yeah.
thought that was a good one. I have no. By the way, Mark did all these. I
Yes.
have no
Oh.
responsibility whatsoever for any of these, and anybody who says different will probably get suspended from the show during the first
I'm thinking Darren might.
commercial break.
Darren might be
Darren
the
might
happiest.
be grateful.
He might be.
He
yeah.
should probably send us say, "Hey, thanks for clarifying."
Exactly.
That,
He might like that the best.
that no.
I'm
see,
not
now,
the
I don't wanna
WWE.
misspeak. Well, so Darren did not come out of the closet.
Correct.
So now, if I say it that way, that could be misconstrued.
Yeah.
right? So the Darren Young that came out of the closet has no relation and is no way.
Probably has never even thrown a dart.
Well, you don't know that, but Darren Young,
Right.
the dart player, isn't the same guy
Exactly.
in the news. Okay, which again, I don't know. I don't know what even to make of. Did you?
Of course,
ever
even
see
if anybody saw the news and saw a picture of the guy that came out, they would know it was not Darren Young, the dart player.
Oh, maybe Darren should put
You
like
would hope.
a picture of himself on his own Facebook
Right.
page next to a picture of the other guy and say, "Look, he's not
It's
me."
not me.
I don't know how many darters would mistake that for him, but it was kind of funny. Did you ever see Sullivan and Son, some TV show?
No, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
They have TBS. This is the thing that I don't understand about media when media mentions darts. Like TBS has a little slide that they put after their promos for shows, like Big Bang Theory or whatever, the stuff that's in syndication.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were advertising this thing for Sullivan and Son, and they had like a graphic of all these bar darts just flying from the upper right to kind of the lower left of the screen, and like a whole parade of them. And I'm like, okay, well, darts are flying. It's a show set in a bar. I mean, I kind of get that.
Yeah.
But they had this. Jimmy Widmer was supposed to be on this Regis Philbin sports show.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, what happened, from what I hear, is they do a segment of celebrities throwing sharp objects. And apparently what they do is they give them a dart, put them in front of a dartboard and blindfold them, and then see if they can hit anything and laugh. So they asked Jimmy to do it with like no warm-up or anything. And, from what I understand, he probably didn't hit anything. I mean, the only person I know that throws good with their eyes closed is me. So they need to get me on there. But it just struck me as like, okay, here they're starting a sports show, and they're dissing darts right off the bat. And it's like, we got to figure out a way
Right.
to turn this around.
So you didn't get to see it, though?
Well, no, because
But-
they like pre-recorded it, so they'll show it, at some point.
Oh, okay.
So, he sent me a text that he was going to be on the show, and I'm like, who else is on? Are you on for the whole hour? He's like, well, no, it's like Isaiah Thomas. And I'm like, Isaiah Thomas? Well, tell him I played against him in
Yeah.
high school, and he is a word we don't say on the show.
Right.
Never liked
Yeah, so
him.
I thought it was live, though, because when we were talking about it last week, that it was actually going to be on live.
Yeah,
but
it looks
apparently not.
like they're pre-recording this one segment, but then they do part of the show live. And, Regis Philbin is like 80 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be
I
gardening.
thought he was retired anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he should be gardening. I mean, this notion somehow that because you're a recognizable face, you have something to contribute.
Right.
Is like, I wouldn't let Regis Philbin work on the brakes on my car. Why would I give him a TV show? You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean,
kinda.
I
Wouldn't have
don't
let
know.
him work
It's
on
a-
my brakes on my car when he was popular.
Oh, really? Okay. I'd let Kathy Lee.
Yeah.
It's like, slide on down there.
Yeah, right. Get on the dolly.
Get on the dolly. All right. Oh, gosh. So we did the results.
We did the results.
Who?
Would you like to?
Feel free to ding in there or talk louder if you're going to interrupt us. See, she speaks, but then doesn't say anything.
If you want to,
Well, I got part of it. They made him shoot blindfolded.
Yeah, they made him shoot blindfolded.
right, that's what he said.
Embarrassing.
Right. Yeah, and it's just sort of like, to my mind, it's belittling an entire sport, and this is this attitude that somehow we have to get around. Like, remember the not Zynga, it was Zeusk, the dating commercial where the guy's like
Oh, I
the
love
fake
that.
darter
Yeah.
who's like mountaintop, and
Yeah, he's like,
and
this is a real sponsor.
yeah. And he's
I
got
actually
his,
don't know that
he's
one.
got his left
That's
foot.
the
This is
best.
part of the reason we started the show. Is he's got his left foot forward and he's right-handed, and it was just like, oh my god.
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to
I love
remind
that.
me to
You've never
remind me to
seen that?
find that on YouTube for you so you could see it if you've
I
never
got
seen
it.
it. It's
Yeah, I've never seen
yeah.
it.
We'll have to find that for
I
you.
got it.
Oh, you got it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's got it. All right, we're going to take our first break, and we'll be back with the first part of our interview with Anthony Eugenio. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mark, Steve, Chatroom Girl. We'll be right back.
forevermore warned that you consume this show at your own risk, and that Dart Talk cannot be brought to justice in any court or by any government, including and not restricted to the grand spaghetti monster of the Triple 20.
Okay, back for the second quarter, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks, Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts. During the break, we YouTube that
I
Zeus
saw the
commercial.
I saw the
What'd you
commercial.
think?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, it's funny and it's a parody, but you're parodying something that a lot of people don't know
That people take
exists.
seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That-
People devote
that's
their
a sport.
lives to a
Right.
sport,
Right.
take it seriously, raise the sport to a level,
Yeah.
and they're dissed by
Which
an
actually then
uninformed
would-
and misinformed population.
But then it would be even funnier, I would think. If the majority of people knew that it was actually a true sport and a lot of people dedicated their lives to it, then
And people find out like little by little. Every time I go into like the local watering hole on a Saturday night and throw a little bit with Jill and meet people that have never. Last time I went there were like 5 people that were just like, my gosh, I can't believe what you just did. And I'm like, I threw 3 bullseyes.
Yeah.
But okay, obviously you haven't seen that before, but stick around.
Right.
It's
yeah,
just sort of
it's going to
like,
happen more than once.
It's just funny. Which by the way, I this is not we're going to have a lot of news coming up in the next couple of weeks. But I will say this now because I am kind of stoked. Just 45 seconds of personal time. I'm going to be in Los Angeles in the middle of September, so I'm going to try to set something up like maybe not an exhibition, but get a bunch of people together at this one. Like the newest dart bar in the San Fernando Valley, and see if we can't have some fun there. Wednesday the 18th. We'll keep you posted on that if we get any.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
In anything, any more news on that? Yes, chat room.
Back to the embarrassing thing with the darts. I have Hickory says, didn't Alan Evans walk off a talk show once because they wanted him to throw darts between his legs?
Yeah, I heard about that, and this was actually back in England after they started putting darts on television. And the funny thing is, and Alan Evans, wow, I mean, you're going back, I think, to the 70s or 60s with a name like that. But, and I, don't have any firsthand knowledge of this, but I did read, like, Sid Waddell's book. But, I've said this before, too. Darts is kind of where golf was in, like, the
Right.
1910s,
Yes.
right? Where, the professionals don't have, a universally great reputation, and nobody outside of golfers really know about them. Like, everybody in the world knows who Tiger Woods is now, but, Phil Taylor, darters know of him. And if you say, hey, have you ever heard of Phil Taylor to somebody that doesn't know anything about darts in America, they'll be like, is that Opie Taylor's dad
No, they're
in
gonna,
the show?
They're
I mean,
going to
they
start
won't know
naming
who it is.
songs
Yeah.
that James Taylor sang.
Right, is that James Taylor's kid?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. All right. So I sat down with Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just to preface this is like the busiest guy in darts. And, we had a long conversation, and for time restraints, I tried to keep it just to the specific stuff that deal with the New World Dart Series, because that event is coming up in November, and they have tweaked the format a little bit, so I wanted to get a little insight into kind of why they do that.
Right.
He was very complimentary about the show, by the way. He especially thought, like, our interviews, the last ones we did with, like, Paula and with Ryan Barnett and with Danny Lobby Jr. were pretty interesting.
Ryan the Pottery Barnett.
Right.
Ryan the Pottery Barnett. The Pottery Barnett.
What did you say about his interview?
He hasn't heard it yet.
Oh, okay.
I offered to send it to him, and, hey, if you want to listen to it before, he's like, no, you're fine.
All right.
And so, I don't know. There's probably one comment he wishes he wouldn't have said. But
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People. There are people I've tried to get on the show, and we're going to make every effort to get Sean singing in the rain on the show next week. But there are a lot of people that are reluctant to come on the show because they're afraid they're going to misspeak.
Right.
And it's like, hey, we're all human.
Everybody
I mean,
misspeaks.
I got ripped for the Gaddafi comment I made.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. then I was like, well, I was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
I mean, so I needed some international thing. Top of my head, this is what came out. Everybody was upset with that, whatever I said. What was the thing? Cherry picking, right? People were upset with the cherry picking comment. And it's like, you say, you try to be sincere. You try to be honest and upfront with people. You say what's on your mind. And, people can take it for what it's worth. I mean,
go through life and you can't please 100% of the people 100%
believe
of the time.
me, I never finish a show thinking I said everything exactly the way I wanted to say it, and I always think the opposite, actually. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it, you guys that are afraid to come on the show. Anyway, let's get to Anthony Eugenia. This is going to be about 19 minutes, the first part of it, and we're probably going to run it and then go right to a break after that. So listen up to Anthony here, and I'll be in the chat room during the interview, and we'll see what happens. All right?
Whoa.
So here's Anthony.
Calm down.
Back off.
Well, we have Anthony Eugenia with us now. Anthony's got to be, by any standard, the busiest man in darts in North America, if not the world. How are you today, Anthony?
I'm doing pretty well, Steve. Thank you very much for having me on.
First off, congratulations. I figure you must be proud that Jimmy Widmer, one of your New York players, qualified for Lakeside. That must have made you pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm really happy and proud of him, and as are the whole community in New York. We're very proud. One of our owners going over, and I mean, all of the dart politics aside, when it gets down to players getting opportunities. You and I we understand the BDO is actually taking away his opportunities, but we're very proud of him, and we hope he goes over and wins a world championship.
Let's talk some New World Dart Series. The next New World Dart Series event is going to be in New Orleans in correct me when I'm wrong here. November.
It is November 22nd to the 24th. New Orleans,
the
Louisiana.
22nd through the 24th, Louisiana.
Yes.
So is it Louisiana or Louisiana?
I think it'd be Louisiana.
That's what I think. We'll have to ask Wollaston about that. I'm sure he'll call in the show immediately and correct us on that.
No, he certainly will.
Well, let's talk about that. First off, for the people that don't know, you're officially the tournament director of the New World Dart Series?
I consider myself now a co-tournament director with Peter Cetera, and I am also a principal in the New World Dart Series. So, but my main concern and my main activity is with the tournament formatting and the darts side of the event.
Okay, for the people that listen to the show and aren't that familiar with the New World Dart Series, tell us a little bit about what makes the New World Dart Series different from like other tournaments on the Diddle Tour and whatnot.
Well, overall, our goal is to bring a long format 501 singles event to the darting public in North America to try and change the culture of play here in North America and in the U.S. and Canada, and prepare players for bigger stages, bigger formats, longer formats, but also give darters from top to bottom a great weekend experience of round robin play that leads into a knockout rounds of long format. Again, playing a lot of good darts. And what we've tried to do is we really don't want to keep people as hostages in a tournament hall for 14 hours a day. We want to try and give you a good dart product and then allow you to go out and enjoy the town you're in. Go out with some friends that you may only see at tournaments. You might only see them occasionally, once a year, a few times a year. Or you might see them at tournaments a lot, and the best you've ever done is share a hot dog. So now with Saturday night not being a compulsory night of play, you can go out and break bread and relax and go meet people and have a nice social evening. We're trying to approach darts with a big picture in mind, give opportunities for players, not only with the NWDS proper with the major tournament, but we also help local areas run what we call the hometown events, and those are smaller versions of a New World Dart Series that allow players to get great darts in and earn their entry fees into the big event. So trying to build a little something across the dart community in North America.
Well, from what I hear, those hometown events are extremely popular. I know we've had some in Chicago that I just stopped in at the end of one, and I could just tell the players were really into it. As I understand it, for the New World Dart Series, it'll be pretty much like Vegas. You're going to play a round robin on Saturday, and then the top half of the round robin will play big money knockout on Sunday, and then the bottom half of the round robin will play lower money knockout on Sunday. Is that fairly accurate?
That's fairly accurate. Yes. Round robin play starting mid morning, and pretty much finishing up late afternoon, early evening at the latest. Pretty much as round robins go, when groups go, and then based on certain criteria, certain players from each group would advance, and there'll be a main event for the bigger money and a smaller consolation on Sunday as well, and that is for both sides of the event. This is both a men's and a ladies event. They're separate events, but we cover both contests, both sexes.
It seems like you've made some little tweaks to the format compared to what we did in Vegas in, I believe it was April.
Yes. Well, what we did, we needed to, and this is the time for a little bit of candidness, and I've wanted a chance to be a little honest about things with the darting public who don't really realize, and I'll touch on Dart Talk in this show. For a second, you had on the tournament director from Virginia Beach in a great program this past week, and the topic was about getting a glimpse behind the scenes of running a dart tournament, which was very helpful and I think very insightful for people, players out there. I know a lot about it, and I'm learning more and more, but a lot of people don't really get it. There's some things, with a tournament like this that we just needed to address and make changes to. Staffing size, logistics of the event. The unique nature of what we're trying to do poses some issues. We are picking up an event and moving it around to different cities. So that dictates in some ways what we can and can't do with size of the field, of size of staff, all of those sorts of things. Internally, we thought we needed to make some tweaks and changes coming out of Las Vegas for this main reason, and this is the biggest reason why we do these things. We went into this kind of a reboot to make a more stable and long-term product and out of the New World Art Series. So it's what some things needed to change. We wanted to build a formula that was going to be long-lasting, and that will benefit the tournament staff, and the dart players. Because if the healthier we can make this event and the more streamlined and packaged, the players will know what the event is from location to location, and the staff is more prepared going into it from event to event. What I mean by that a little bit, going into the first two events, this is only the third event that we're running. This is NWS number 3. So going into the first two events, we were waiting on certain times on what size of the field was going to dictate the size of the groups and the amount of groups, and that would dictate a lot of how many boards we're going to use and a lot of things like that. I know a lot of the minutia that people don't kind of care about, but it does affect the way we worked, and then sometimes affected the way we were presenting the product. So we tried to streamline things a little bit and try and come up with a little bit of a formula that we're going to use. And as we've bandied about before, the marketplace will decide. I certainly hope, and we as a team at NWDS hope we've made some changes and are going to give a product that the players will like, that the consumer will like, and it will be a success. But we will certainly always look at things. If something doesn't work, then we'll always look at it. So basically what we did is we took the event, and if you look at most everything, it's a 3-to-1 scale from the men to the ladies, from the size of the playing fields down to the prize money. The men's main event is an $18,000 prize pool. The women's event is a $6,000 prize pool. Men's consolation $3,000. Women's consolation $1,000. So that's a 3-to-1 scale, and like I said, the size of the field, it's 160 men and 56 women. So that's kind of how I address that. The other big topic of conversation I believe you'd like to get into is the newest thing that we're doing going into NWDS number 3 that we have not done prior. Using the PDC North American Order of Merit for the men's event, using the NAPTA Ladies North American rankings for the ladies side of this event, okay, we are automatically and directly seeding 16 men and 8 ladies right into the Sunday main event, okay? So if you're out there on the PDC North American Order of Merit and out playing on the tour, if you can get yourself up high enough, you can get yourself placed directly into the main event on Sunday.
And we've talked a little bit, you and me, offline about this, and my understanding is this is strictly a numbers thing. Was the main reason, a logistic thing. The main reason you wanted to do this is because it leaves you an even 144 to divvy up into the round robin.
When I knew, even when I presented this to my team, I knew the immediate reaction that they would have, and what we knew the public's reaction was going to be, was that it was somehow a how do I say this in a PC way? It was some sort of a butt kiss. Not this was not in any way a capitulation to any sort of top player, male or female, and you know what I mean. This was not an attempt to do any favors for any top players. But I'll get to where it does benefit them. With me, I'm a nuts and bolts, pen and paper, looking at the event type of guy. We had discussed in the prior 2 events a few times using groups of 24 groups for the men's event. Things went from the men's event, and then we moved it over to the ladies. So I'll talk in terms of the men's event. Like going into the first event in Dayton, we talked about 24 groups for a while. So then that means you can fill 48 with the top 2, but now how do we fill the other 16? We discussed at times keeping points per round average of the whole event, doing it that way, other sort of criteria, which now you have to start comparing results from one group to another, and if the group sizes are different, those sort of things, things that start to get very tricky. So we tabled it and come up with different things. We had 16 groups and of 8s and 9s and 10s and very large groups and all this sort of stuff. So again, coming out of Vegas, thinking, processing stuff. For some reason, it occurred to me, instead of trying to find 16 wild cards, if we now have 16 seeds, I inverted the process. Now I have my 16 that I was desperately looking for. I can now go back, use the 24 groups, which help us a lot more in the logistics of the room, of the amount of boards we need, and all of that sort of stuff. So it enabled us to get to where we always seemed to be wanting to go, but we couldn't figure out how to get there. This allowed me to get there. So that's why I say it really was a logistics thing. It was this amount of groups, blah, 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 did the math, and this is what we come up with. as it played out, as I looked out at it and we kind of soaked it in, we realized, okay, it has some benefits in the sense that this was all set up and announced coming out of Las Vegas, and that was in April. So this was all out there before any of the other North American Championship Tour events took place. So this wasn't sprung on anybody. This was put out there, so it's a good incentive for the players to get out there and get their rankings up, because there's a benefit. So if there's a player that's gone out there, busted their hump, and played their played spectacularly, and earned a ranked number 7th on the North American Order of Merit, there's some fruit to be had for that work. You get right into Sunday, so I thought that was beneficial. It also gave us, to me, the look of a professional European event. What a lot of them, the PDC will do the same thing. We'll have seeds go into a certain stage, or like UK Open, I believe they do. So it also kind of felt right to do things like that. Now I'll address right away one of the things that you've brought to me, which was obvious to us immediately. There is some merit and some value to some players who sign up and get to play a round robin, and they look at their group and, wow, lo and behold, I've got X in my group. It could be potentially a world champion or a North American champion or the current, number one, or, oh, wow, I've seen him play on the PDC, stage a bunch of times for the US and stuff. So that's, there's value to that. We understand that, and that's a story to be told. How many legs could you take off him? Or, wow, he played so good, he, whatever, he this and that. Or, oh, wow, my goodness, I actually beat him. All of that stuff. It just got, we put it on the scale, and for the sake of the format of the event, the format with the 16 seeds won. But we certainly recognize that that was that was something we were giving up. That was a certain nugget and a attraction to the event that we were giving up by doing that. So we acknowledge that, and we hope that not too many folks are disappointed at that. We just think that in turn, staying with that player who, how do I put this? Let's just say the field, someone who's not in the 16. So now they're in the field. So they don't have to compete with that top 16 player to make the main event, So in certain regards, that might make their day better on Saturday, their experience and their day better, They may feel that, wow, the way things played out, I've got a real good chance here to make the main event. I do say that we're offering a pretty good amount of money in the main events, even the consolation. Consolation is a good amount of prize money too. But if that player can pull off, qualifying into the main event, it's a pretty darn good weekend for them. The other thing I think that we did that kind of balanced the whole Sunday seeding round robin thing is we're actually not going to seed any of the round robin groups. So the only seeding that's going to take place is in the Sunday main event. So the round robin groups are going to be a straight out random draw. And to me, the pluses of that is it actually makes it, to be quite honest with you, it could potentially make the round robins quite more difficult for some players to get through, because the potential of a tougher draw in that group, is there, and to me that spices things up a little bit in the round robins. That's how I feel. I'm very positive about it. I feel good about it. I think on both ends of it, there'll be pluses to it, and people, I hope, will come away feeling positive about it and having a good experience. That's the bottom line. We want everybody to have a good experience.
Okay, that was Anthony Eugenia. Some interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
We need to go to a commercial, but, I don't know. I talked to him about it, and, the nice thing about talking to a guy with Anthony is like, look, here's my take on it, but at least, it's hard sometimes to get people to explain, why they decide what they decide.
Yeah.
And Anthony's really good about
Well,
that.
it sounds like they put a lot of thought into it. They're not just flipping a coin.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm like enamored with the idea. I didn't like the idea of the guys getting a bye into Sunday, the top 16,
Right.
even though I'm kind of like close and I might get one. I like playing the round robin.
Yeah.
I think it's great preparation for playing on Sunday. You're going to get in a lot of good games, and it's not going to be the same kind of pressure.
But
that
on the
you're
other
gonna
hand,
have
it's
on
all
Sunday.
new. I mean, they can tweak it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
What if it does? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Well,
I mean,
it's not like this stuff's carved in stone. But
Right.
I think Anthony's point, and it was well made, was they're concerned with the sustainability. They're concerned with coming up with an event format that they can repeat and make it financially successful and whatnot and stuff like that. So some of the changes they've made, and we'll get to there's a couple of more I think in the second part of the interview, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of just randomly putting everybody in round robin groups. I mean, you've got if you're going to take the North American Championship Tour money list and you want to make that meaningful and you're going to take the top 16 and give them a bye, why not take the second 16 or second 24,
Split
whatever
them
it
up.
is, and put them in different groups.
Mhm.
Just seeding doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it sort of does and it sort of doesn't. But the idea
Yeah,
of
but
balancing out
on the other
round
hand,
robin groups.
you got to have a cutoff at some point. So if,
Oh, yeah.
if you're, the cutoff is if you're not top 16, you're in the round robin, and that's it.
Right, but seeding the round robin and trying to making an effort to balance it out a little bit probably helps the field in more than one way. If you have one or two groups that have all these, like, let's say, because it's random, you could get number 17, number 19, number 21, and number 23 all in one group. So,
Right.
okay, if only two are getting through, then you're going to have two of the top 32 guys now in the consolation. That's going to make it a lot harder
Well, that's true.
for everyone
Right.
else in the consolation round,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, the consolation, $1,000, that's pretty good.
Right.
That's pretty good money. And, to my mind, you want to make that as good an event as you can, just like, you're making the effort to make the main event,
Sure.
as fair and
I
as
would
balanced
actually agree
as
with
you
that.
can and let
Yeah.
the darts do the talking. So
Right.
I wasn't really happy to see that, but maybe down the road they'll review that, because what you want to do, if your idea is to, give people incentive to going to the events, well, you're going to give people incentive. You're going to give another.
That's what the
16 people-
consolation
Yeah.
round is for.
Yeah.
It's a big incentive.
Well, no, I'm talking about seeding the round robin.
Right.
If the top 16 are out of the round robin, and then the next 16 are seeded into the round robin, that's more incentive to be in the top 32.
Mm-hmm.
So you're expanding the influence of your money list, which I figure is a good deal, right? All right, we're
Sure.
going to take a break. We'll be right back. Well, not right back. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mark Steve, Chat Room Goal. We'll be back with Anthony Eugenia in a minute.
Sunday event winner was Shelley Miller over Callie
The views and
West.
opinions expressed on Dart Talk are those of the hosts. They in no way should be misrepresented, misinterpreted, or made to claim that the universe is against you, your family, your city, or the darting community at large.
Okay, back for the second half, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
DartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. We got all sorts of stuff going on. Thank you, though, smartest chat room in the business. We did get more results from the London Open, which was in London, Ontario, the Saturday before the PDC event. Mystery Mark,
And
you've
a
got
back.
you've got they did a PDC Youth Championship like they did in Stanford.
You want to do the Utes?
For the Canadian Utes? What do you got?
All right, we'll go with the quarterfinals. Steve Wilcox loses to Dawson Marshall. Dylan Lance loses to Kiefer Durham. Mike DeGroot beats Daniel Collins. And Kayla Thompson loses to Sean Narain.
Singing in
Singing
the rain.
in the rain.
Okay.
Your semifinals, Kiefer Durham beats Dawson Marshall, and Sean Narain beats Mike DeGroot. And your finals, second place goes to Kiefer Hit the Bull Durham, and Sean
Right.
Singing in the Rain
Okay.
wins the youth
I
event.
like that. Hit
You
the
like-
Bull Durham.
Hit the Bull
All right,
Durham.
that was
Bull
excellent.
Durham.
See, some of these people need to start changing their names so we could get good nicknames for 'em.
Exactly.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
Bob Seneve needs
Bob's.
to
That's a tough one.
go to we had to go to the rhyming dictionary for that one. What
And I
else
had
you
to
got?
come up with something better than just Bull Durham because Bull Durham's taken.
Right.
So
hit
I
the
had
Bull
to
Durham.
hit
No,
the
no,
Bull
no. I
Durham,
think
so.
that's awesome.
All right.
What
So
else you
of
got?
course,
Okay.
now we got the London Open.
Okay.
We'll do the men's first. Your men's singles, top 8, Terry Hairhurst, Jim Longest Yard, Dave Barry Switzer, and Ross Snook. Top 4 goes to Richel, Penalosa, and Dave Richardson. And your finals, Sean Singing in the Rain loses to Andre Getting the Carmen.
Bizet's Carmen? Andre Bizet's
Ooh.
Carmen?
Bizet's
No?
Carmen?
Why, what'd you come up with?
I said Getting the Carmen.
Get in the Carmen.
Like Carmen Gia?
Get in the car, man.
Get in the
oh,
car,
get
man.
in the car, man. Oh, okay, that's good.
All right.
Get in the
you
car,
know, it
man.
was quick.
Okay,
I
no,
didn't
that
have
was
much
good.
time.
No, well, I don't think
So,
you're supposed to spend too much time on
Andre
this.
Getting the Car Man wins 5-2 over Sean Singing in the Rain. But then you got your doubles, Ross Snook and Bob, what did we call them?
Bringing in
Seneve. Top 4 with Ron Looker and Corey Catcher in the Rye. Congrats to the runner-up. And then Larry the Butler didn't do it, and Ryan the Pottery Barnett.
Ron.
They are the runners-up
They are the runners-up.
to the doubles champions of Terry Hayhurst and Dave Richardson.
We'll
And-
have to definitely
come up with something for that.
them. Hey, Hurst.
And then we got late results, which is why I was late back to the show.
oh, we got late results
For
Okay.
women's.
Oh, for the women's.
Women's
Okay.
Saturday, Robin Curry beats Cindy Hayhurst. And on Sunday, Shelley Miller over Callie West.
Okay, well, congrats to all those great players, and I'm sure it was a well-played event. I'm sure it was a high quality of play. knowing Ontario and the reputation they have.
Yeah.
Ontario darts, always well represented up there. I'm going to have to get up there next year. I'm going to try to travel more outside the country next year. I've made that decision. Let's see if we can make that happen.
See how it works.
Yeah. What else? Do we have anything else from the chat room before we go back to the second part of Anthony's
Well, we're
interview?
still working on a nickname for you.
Yeah, we don't need one.
We've
Let's
got
get back.
one.
We've got
We've got plenty of shows
I
for
was
that.
gonna
No,
say,
yeah,
Mark-
yeah.
yeah.
We can
Mark
we
and
can
I
give
have
no.
one.
Wait until
Yeah.
1,000 people listen to the podcast, and we'll see what we get in the email.
Yeah.
So just, by the way, you guys can always email the show, darttalk@gmail.com. You could find the old audio podcasts on iTunes, on tunein.com, and on stitcher.com. Just, search for Dart Talk. And then on YouTube, we have the video archive. Just search Dart Talk, or if you put in one word, Dart Talk US, you'll find our channel, and we have the whole archive up there. You guys are having way too much fun trying to get a
Yeah.
nickname for me.
Yeah, you're not supposed to give one to yourself, though, Scott.
Anyway, the second half of the interview with Anthony, I think you guys are going to find compelling.
Oh.
So let's get right to that, unless
You have a
there's some
shout
reason.
out to give.
Oh well, I was going to do that at the end of the show,
Yeah.
but what do you want to do? A shout out to Jennifer?
Yeah.
To Jennifer Parham Delfino, who I believe is delivering baby Bowen as we speak,
Nice.
or
Good.
will be. I assume they're listening to the show in the delivery.
Oh, I have to. Yeah.
I would have to think that if you were going to have a kid who you want to be a dart player, that he would come out of the womb listening to Dart Talk. I mean, they probably have like an iPod with all our old, just put it up by your stomach and let the baby
Yeah, or
listen
if you want to
old shows.
expedite the pregnancy, then just have them listen to Dart Talk.
I
It's
want
kinda
out
like,
of here.
It's like eating hot sauce or something.
All right, let's get back to Anthony Eugenia and hear what he's got to say. Another issue that I know you've had to deal with that was kind of tricky, dealing with seeds coming out of the round robin, is that the PDC was requiring that you seed the top PDC people anyway.
Indeed.
So it made it kind of awkward for the seeded players in the round robin because they were going to be seeded on Sunday anyway.
Indeed.
I talked to a couple of them, and they were kind of like, well, what am I playing this for? Because, and that I believe was imposed on you, by your association with the PDC and the way the PDC wants the Sunday event run.
Yeah, but by doing one thing, it had a domino effect into what the round robin looked like, as opposed to different circumstances. So yeah, to have the Sunday main event be counted towards the PDC North American Order of Merit, there were some things we were required to do. So it kind of changed the nature of things. And the way you explained it with the top players having to play, that was good enough. And that's not something that should be coming out of my mouth. That's for you to explain like that. And that's I'm sure how some players felt. That's just the way it was. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm probably I haven't looked, but I'm probably close to the cut line. I mean, I like playing the round robin on Saturday. I think it's a good preparation for playing on Sunday, especially for people that don't play tournaments every single weekend. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting, and there's still going to be lots and lots and lots of good players that are in the field.
Oh,
I mean, you're talking about
any time that somebody kind of even remotely brings that up, I immediately bring up the Order of Merit, and I'm like, you tell me the players right now that are 17 to 40, tell me who you want to play against. Please. I mean, there's going to be some really gnarly groups.
Yeah, there will be. I'm really looking forward to it. Have you made any other changes? I believe there's a couple of more. You added money to the women's event compared to Vegas.
Pardon me, I don't have the Vegas flyer in front of me, so I can't give you the exact breakdown. But we did. We made an effort to put some more money into the ladies' events, and as I say, the field is exactly 3-1. So I thought the prize money should be the same. So it's hopefully seen because it was intended to be a fair shake on both sides of the field, men and the women, both being treated the same as they should be. So that's in a way, I guess women's changes. They were meant for the better, and they were meant to, give them everything that they are due, which hopefully is good prize money and a good experience.
Okay, were there any other changes that you've made to the tournament compared to Vegas?
A couple of things I know people would probably want to discuss on Saturday in the round robins. Now, I noted that there's discussion that goes back and forth, and some players have different opinions. We have always been of the opinion that 25 to 30 legs is the range that we want to shoot for. That's what we feel is the place that we want to be in terms of total legs played in the round robin when you're done. Now, again, as I say, we get done with this and 80% of the players turn around to me and give me a different answer, more or less. I will certainly listen. We will certainly listen. But we've locked it in as opposed to just to reference back to when I talked about Vegas. We went into Vegas and we were unsure of the amount of legs each game was going to be, and we announced it, and there were some issues. So again, the goal was to try and lock something in so the staff knows what's going on and the consumer knows what they're getting. We estimate if the event sells out, you'd be in a group of 6. So you'd be playing 5 competitors, 5 full games of 501 against each player. So you get 25 games. If you're in a smaller group of 5, you'd play 7 legs. So you'd actually get more legs but less opponents. So you'd play 28 games. So that's where that is. Like I said, that's on the flyer. People can look that up. But I know just in conversation, this is the stuff that people are gonna want to discuss.
Yeah, I think in Vegas I played 40, and that was a lot.
Doubt it.
40 was a lot.
Yeah,
that was pretty tiring.
There was a lot of people that were in the 35 range. Like I say, this is my personal opinion, and people will go against that. But yeah, I do think that 35 to 40 is actually too many. So as I say, this is what we're going to do, and we certainly hope that people enjoy it. And if there's a demand for more, we'll look at that. The other things we tweaked a little bit, we are still doing the Friday night luck of the draw, okay? But we deemed it necessary to not include that anymore in the overall price of the event. That is now a separate entry fee. It's still the same prize money. It's still a $2,500 luck of the draw, and that's, how these things work. We put it on the flyer. It's guaranteed with an $800 first prize, so it's still a wonderful luck of the draw, but we are going to ask an entry fee for that. So that's going to stay. It's the same event, but it's just going to be run slightly different. The new thing we're putting in, although we spoke about, you and I were on the same page, I would love to – the last event we were in Vegas, I'd love to plan Cirque du Soleil and go to Craft Steak and have dinner, but there are some people who have been vocal about they don't come to these things to go see shows. They want to play darts. Well, so we're going to offer on Saturday, we're going to offer a separate men's and a women's doubles event. And that has an entry fee for it too, for the people who do want to stick around and play, who are looking to actually play more darts than they're already being given. So there's more darts to play if you so choose. But as I had mentioned earlier, it's not compulsory. We're not holding you in. You don't have to play it if you don't want to. And that's going to be it's an 85% payout. So it'll just be based on entry fees, whoever's in the hall and wants to play. But we heard enough people that said that they wanted, things to be open. So we're going to have another event that day.
And then for that event, you can actually have locals come in and play that aren't playing in the main event as well.
And absolutely, the luck of the draw. The luck of the draw has always been open to the public, so that will continue. So Friday night luck of the draw and the Saturday doubles, both a men's and a women's event, are open to the public. Local darters, please come on in and mix it up with some of the folks from around North America.
Yeah, before you start encouraging the locals too much, I've been catching up on True Blood, and the only thing I think of when I watch this show is I have to go down there and play in November.
I just watched the season finale, and I was thinking the same thing. I said, "Oh, geez, I'm going to be down there."
I just, I don't know. Some of the vampires look pretty hot, but So on a serious note, how did you guys come up with New Orleans as a venue? Because I've been playing a dozen years, and I don't recall ever seeing a big tournament in that part of the country.
This decision came about probably two pronged. One, with the whole idea of trying to offer a tournament that you can have some downtime with and everything, we are going to try and shoot for some interesting locations, some good locales that may have some pluses to them. Music-centric cities where you can go out and enjoy the night. Places that have, good entertainment. Now, of course, we're also balancing dollars and cents. So, we are always looking for good sites tied in with good, hotels and all of that stuff. So it's not all going to be New Orleans and Las Vegas. But we do want to try and really give a location that is going to make your eyes light up, to be like, you know what, that really does sound like a pretty darn good weekend. Not only am I going to get to play some really good darts, but it's a place that either I've never been to or I've been there, and so okay, we can go to see, blah blah blah, and go to a nice restaurant I know and all that kind of stuff. Same sort of thing. The other way New Orleans specific came up was an idea that got thrown out on Facebook, as a lot of them do, but it sounded good at the time, and it's something that I don't know that we can really keep up, but there's an idea that as people win these events, we can try and bring it then back to their hometown. And Scott Wollaston won the NWDS #1, of course, in Dayton. So right away he was very vocal about New Orleans, and the ball started rolling, and kind of we went from there. So we had Paula Murphy, I think she's from Florida, from the first one, and Stacy won the second one. So we've always been, she won it in her hometown. And Darren won in Vegas. I don't know if we're going to have one in the woods of eastern Pennsylvania, but maybe we'll look at an Indian casino. But so that's kind of how it came about as well. But you can't really go wrong with a great town like New Orleans. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been down there, and I've always been curious about it. And living in Chicago, it's just kind of out of the way, so it's a great excuse to see a new city, which is, to my mind, if you're going to be traveling to dart tournaments, at least go to a place that's worth going to and have a little time to spend there, as opposed to just checking out the parking lot of the hotel. So
I've never been to New Orleans either, and I can't wait to get my hands on some beignets. Can't wait.
The beignets, yeah. And then, I don't know, Wollaston promised to, I thought he said he was going to take me on an airboat in the swamp, but he didn't say anything about bringing me back.
Yeah, I'd be on the lookout for some gators.
Yeah, we have to, and we have to go by Bontemps and kind of see where they shoot that show, if it really exists, which I doubt. No, it should be interesting, and hopefully, are you planning anything, like any special events, maybe like a Thursday night exhibition for the people that get in there early, anything like that?
Things have been discussed and trying to develop some things. Nothing's been set yet, but we would hope to try and have some nice exhibition style event on Thursday evening for everybody that's coming into town early, and we'll see how things move along in regards to that, and we'll let that be known. And but those things are really special, and we want more and more of them to happen around the country.
Yeah, sounds good. And then finally, we haven't talked much on the show about the North American Championship that's planned for next February. However, as I understand it, you have to play in 2 North American Championship Tour events to qualify for the championship.
Indeed.
So New Orleans, if you haven't played in any, it seems like if you play in New Orleans and then again in Sacramento in November, that'd be enough to qualify.
Yeah, you've got a few coming up. You can get one in Atlantic City in September. Sacramento is a doubleheader weekend, so if you just make Sacramento, you can get them both in now. But of course, you don't want to miss the New World Art Series at the end of November in New Orleans, because there's also that event is also going to be seeded, so you're going to want to come and do your best. But if you get one under your belt, you can come down to New Orleans and qualify for the North American Championships.
Right, plus
in
it's-
the early spring.
Yeah, plus it's more money. It's worth more. Right.
Oh,
so
New Orleans, you better believe it.
I mean, I shot up just on making top 4 in Vegas, put me in the top 16. So it's very doable if you play well in New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans is going to be very interesting. We're going to have spots in the North American Championship at stake. We're going to have, I believe that the top spot for the person going to the World Championships is going to be in play. We're going to have spots for the PDC World Cup in play. So I think it's going to be a tasty, tasty weekend, shall we say.
Excellent. Well, I'll be there for sure. I'll look
Good.
forward to seeing you there, and I'll also I'll be in Atlantic City, so we can catch up there. And then I appreciate you coming on the show, Anthony. If you got any news or any announcements or anything you want to communicate to people, by all means, you're welcome to come back on, and I'd rather have you explain it than me.
Well, I very much appreciate the time. You can go to newworlddartseries.com. Get information. You can certainly find us on Facebook. Just look up New World Dart Series. I appreciate Dart Talk having me on, and Steve taking the time to discuss this all with me. And I appreciate everything you do week in, week out.
Yeah, we're awesome. Are you taking online signups yet, or will that be starting pretty soon?
I believe we're taking them currently. If the website PayPal is not currently set up, you can contact us on Facebook and register. We will take your registration if you want to register already, because we are already running hometown events. So where the ball is moving. So if you want to play, we'll take you.
Okay, and then the hometown events are also on your website on that little hometown link?
Yes. Yeah, you find all the information. That's part of what we do. I have to give a ton of credit to Sharon Butler, Peter Cetera, and Jeff Good was in on this as well. These hometown events they created are simply wonderful. Not that they didn't reinvent the wheel, but the event that they put together is a really solid dart event. But what they also do is they supply the promotion, additional promotion on our website, on Facebook, and then they're also available as the event is being run as like a customer service, and they'll walk whoever's running the event through. There's always someone to call and get some help if you have a hang up. So I just think they've done a bang up job, and I want to show my appreciation to them.
Yeah, for the people I've talked to, it's a great day of darts, these hometown events. And I know there's one coming up in Chicago, so maybe I'll stop by. All right, well, thanks, Anthony. We'll be in touch, and good luck in all you do.
Thanks, Steve. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was Anthony Eugenia.
Did you want to turn that down?
Pretty informative interview, I thought.
Yeah. Did he say he wanted to get his hands on a bidet?
Beignet.
Oh, I was going to say,
Beignet.
because your hands don't go on a
Cafe
bidet.
du Monde.
Well, there's pastry, some
Cafe
sort
du
of
Monde.
yeah, some sort of French pastry.
awesome.
Or
Nice.
Love New Orleans.
Never been down there.
Did they
Oh, it's
mention,
fantastic.
Is it going to be streamed?
You know what? I didn't ask him. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out and get back to everybody on that. We're going to take our last break. You're listening to Dart Talk with Mark, Steve, Chat Room Girl, and we'll be right back. Okay, back for the fourth quarter, brought to you by the Dart Zone.
Stay in the zone.
TheDartZone.com is an official Cosmo distributor. Also, many thanks, Windy City Fabricators and Redwood Darts. We'll have an exciting announcement about them coming up pretty soon, too, by the way.
Good.
We're going to have a lot of news in the next couple of weeks. People need to tune in. There's going to be announcements from quite a few sources, from what I understand. And you had one apology.
I would like to apologize to Andre because I got his nickname wrong.
To Andre Carmen?
Andre Carmen. It really should have been Andre Dude, Where's My Carmen? Is really the correct nickname he should have. So.
I think that would look good on a shirt.
Yes.
I'll tell you that.
Dude,
Andre,
where's my
dude,
where's my Carmen?
Man?
So anyway, that was my bad. I got it wrong.
Speaking of names, we have results. The International Dart Federation held their 2013 World Cup in Shanghai, China, over the weekend, and co-located with that, the next day they also had the Darts Live Stage 5. So we've got results from that. Chat room girl, you want to hit it?
What do I want to hit first? Woohoo!
Just talking to the mic.
Stage 5. I'm going to go ahead and do stage 5.
You want to do Darts Live Stage 5
first? I can pronounce
first?
all these names.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. Okay.
So stage 5, Darts Live, Shanghai. Top 8, Ben Dersch, Randy Van Dersen, Boris Krickmar.
Boris, I need a vowel.
I need a vowel. Krickmar.
Okay. We'll have to come up with something for Benny.
Yeah.
M. Hashimoto.
Benny the Jet isn't bad.
Yeah, but yeah. Okay.
It's not bad.
You told
not bad.
Yeah, you told me I had to use
I don't think
names.
you can. I don't think you could walk on to
We should
Benny
have come
and
up.
the Jets.
We should have come up with this concept a lot earlier than 20 minutes before the show started.
Well, anybody can work under ideal conditions.
Exactly.
Sorry,
Right.
what else you
That's
got
all
there?
right. We got top 4. We got Robert Modra, Yuji Uguchi, and second place is Paul M. And your winner for stage 5 Darts Live is Lawrence
Gunner,
Illigan
Lawrence Illigan.
from the Philippines.
Yeah, it's not like he
Lawrence.
hasn't won before. So Paul
Yep.
too. So cream rises to the top. Well played to those gentlemen. And I'm sure you'll be able to find those videos online. It usually takes them about a week or two to get the matches up there if you guys missed them because you weren't up at 2 in the morning, something like that.
All right, now we've
6
got
in the morning.
the national team event for the IDF.
This is the IDF World Cup 2013 team event.
Yes, and there were
Okay.
16 countries that played in the team event. And your top 4 is Japan and Singapore. Second place is United States. Would you like me to read the team names since I
I
can
think
pronounce
you
them?
should.
Okay, we got Richard Espinoza, Ben Dersch, Randall. It says Randall. That's funny. Randy Van Dersen and Wendy Espinoza.
Well, his name is Randall.
And the other two, I'm so used to calling him Randy. I'm like,
Well,
that
that's
just
a
really threw me
nickname.
off.
That's like my name's
And-
Steven, and people call me Steve.
Can I finish?
I wish
and then
you
the
would.
other 2 players were Robert Heckman and Scott Kirshner on the USA team. So-
Robert Heckman and Scott Kirchner. All right,
Yeah.
well, good team.
And then your champion for the national team tournament was the Philippines.
So
and
Lawrence had a
Lawrence.
good weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, Lawrence had a good weekend, and you got some singles events
Lawrence,
there too.
little buddy
I
Illigan.
do. Now I'm going to go ahead and
Little
apologize.
buddy.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome, little buddy Illigan.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
okay, that
Yeah,
works
'cause
for me.
Gilligan, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and apologize because I am really going to butcher some names here, but I'm going to
Oh,
go
do
through
your
'em.
best.
All right. So singles, men's A flight, top 4. Lawrence from the Philippines.
Lawrence who?
Illigan.
No.
Lawrence.
Lawrence, little buddy
Little buddy Illigan.
Illigan.
Ben Dersch. That was top 4. Second place, Paul M. Paul, I'm out on a limb.
Oh, okay, not
All right.
bad.
And the champion was Boris. Can I have a Val Krickmar?
Okay,
All right.
nice. That was good.
men's-
She made that up on the spot.
Did.
See,
Yeah.
she's getting the hang of it.
I know.
I'm
Okay.
getting the hang
It's
of
starting to
it.
roll off the tongue.
Wait till I say yours later.
Oh yeah,
Men-
suspensions are imminent.
Yes.
Whatever. Men's B flight. Top 4. Oh, God. Bung Ho Lee.
That was not a nickname,
Stop it.
by the way.
And K. Adku from Mongolia. Second place was Benderija Matbiliga from Mongolia. And your champion was Ying Yunfai.
Well, that's
China.
better than I could have done.
Well, yeah, we don't usually do B flight results, but
But that's
I
okay.
do.
I'm gonna
well,
go through these
well, that's
'cause,
fine.
you
I,
know.
I did want to mention though, and I'm sure people have seen it on Facebook. You probably haven't though.
Well, let me get to that. Let me get to that division, and then you can.
You're
not-
already at that division.
I'm not there yet. I got.
Fine.
I'm going down the page.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, we got the women's singles. This is for top 4. We got Marina Shursava from Russia, Bader Sen from Mongolia. Second place was Valmadred Angelin from the Philippines. And your champion is Erdenchimek Dandov from Mongolia.
These Mongolians are doing really
Nice.
Yeah,
well.
apparently.
The mixed youth, third and fourth, top 4. Unlong Tam from China, Xing Yuan from China. Second place was Ye Song from China, and your champion is Q Xingaguan from China. So the Chinese cleaned up in the youth.
Yeah, probably not too many international youths traveling to Shanghai, I would
So
think.
now we have the mixed sea flight, and here you go.
Well, okay, so somebody posted a picture of a legless man in a modified stool throwing darts at the line. And I couldn't believe it. And somebody, I can't remember who put the description of it, and unfortunately, nobody posted video of the guy, but apparently he goes to the line, he throws 3 darts from this like kind of modified it's almost like kind of a bar stool size thing,
Right.
but there's like no back. And then he sort of like kind of hops off the line, his partner goes and retrieves his darts, and then the next guy throws. And I just thought it was like the coolest thing. And apparently, he needed a 54 to, win the match and, nailed a trip 18. And I just thought,
Wow.
that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Huge inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, we can't obviously get somebody from China on the show because unless we had a translator, although I might be
Right.
able to dig one up. I actually know a couple of people that speak Chinese, but we'll see. Do they have Skype in
No, but
China?
that is really
Yes,
that's
they
really
do.
cool.
I think it'd be cool to try to get him on the show. We'll effort that. I'll effort trying to get this guy on the show because
It's impressive.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's very seldom you see a picture that gives you chills, and I was just like, now this is totally cool, and I think in a way it kind of typifies what the sport can be about. I mean, I always thought of darts as the most inclusive sport I'd ever seen. I mean, you can't just walk onto a golf course and get in a tournament that Tiger Woods is in.
Right.
Right? But, you come to America, you can get in the same tournament Phil Taylor was in. I just thought when I first started playing tournaments, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Speaking of golf,
You
I
know?
played in a golf outing once, and there was a guy with one leg playing golf.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I've seen blind guys play
Yeah,
golf.
it was
I've
great.
seen deaf guys play golf. I've seen people with prosthetic limbs
Mhm.
play golf. I played a guy who was in a motorized scooter that had a walker, and his wife had to go get his darts. I played him, I think, in Alabama. He was actually a good player,
Right.
and he had been playing a lot before he
Whatever happened.
fell ill.
Yeah.
But when you see something like that, I just think it's awesome.
Mhm.
I thought it was great. I'll try to post that picture on the Facebook page. I figured most people had seen it, but you never know.
Right.
Yep. So that was the mixed sea flight event, and yes, and his name is Yidong Pan. He's from
Yidong
China.
Pan.
Yep.
Okay.
Yidong Pan, and he's from China, and he was the champion.
Yidong the frying pan. All right.
Doubles tournament, men's A flight. I'm just gonna do top 2. Yeah. So top 2. Second place was Chris White from Canada and Harith Lim from Singapore. Champion was Takahiro Suzuki from Japan and Yuji Iguchi. That was your winner.
Yeah, we played those guys in Vegas last year.
Yep.
Good team. Young guys.
Women's
Dedicated.
champion. Second place is Zi Yun from China and Shai Wei from China. Champion is Anastasia Dobramislova and Marina Shursukakova from Russia.
Okay. So Martina didn't play.
No,
Navratilova.
no,
Okay.
apparently not.
I mean, I don't know.
No.
I know it's not really
And I
PC, but
apologize because I know I butchered some
well,
of
no,
those names.
some of
but
those
goodness.
names, some of those names are like their own nicknames.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they sound to us, Anglos or
I-
something.
I
Right.
tried.
But do you see now that if you don't have a good nickname, your name doesn't sound as good as in
Exactly.
the results?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
it's
doesn't
So there are going to be
flow.
people
It
that are
puts
going to be
a-
actually
puts a
disappointed if
little ring on it.
actually, dude, where's my car, man? That's got to be the winner.
Right
of-
now,
of
that's
the
tops on
evening.
the list.
Shout out to everybody going out to WADA this
Yeah.
weekend. The Washington Area Dart Association, they're having their annual tournament. It's always Labor Day weekend. Is it Labor Day weekend already?
It is.
Oh,
It will be.
summer is
It's not
gone.
yet, but yes. No more wearing white.
Yeah, safe travels to all those people. Did we mention if Bo and Delfino's listening to the show yet? I hope they got little baby earphones for him.
Sharon was going to call him.
Okay. Well, good luck to them. Hope everything goes good.
Wouldn't
Another darter in the world's a positive
kids'
thing.
first words are going to be Dart Talk?
Don't you think that?
That would be great. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should do a special pre-recorded show just for infant children.
Yeah.
To raise their
To
Dart
listen,
IQ.
yeah,
You know
right.
how you get little babies to listen to Mozart. We'll do a show just for kids. And anyway, next week I'm going to try to get Sean singing in the rain on the show. I got his cell number. We'll see if we can't figure out a way to get him in front of a Skype
That'd be nice.
equipped.
Oh, Dart Zone has us
Oh.
a translator.
Oh, really?
Okay,
There you
there's
go.
that. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Bill. Well, no, because there are two people I know that speak Chinese, and that was one of them.
Bill knows one of them? Or Bill is one of them?
Bill knows one of
Oh,
them,
okay.
and then I know one of them from my buddy John. You met John, the guy with the bacon.
Yeah.
His wife's
Yeah.
from China.
Okay.
So, I wonder if we could do that.
What do we got here?
Get that
Why
guy
not?
on the show. How are we going to get a hold of him?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but they're
We'll
also
have to, we're
aren't
gonna,
they
we're
like
gonna effort that. I
aren't they
think
like
that would
15
be,
hours time difference too? So
But wouldn't that be like the coolest thing if we could get him on the show?
Mhm.
We could tape it in advance or something. I
Yeah.
mean, well, we'll try. We'll effort that. It'll give us something to do. Anyway, you guys got anything else? Anything from
what-
the chat room?
last week we talked about moving to Tuesdays. What were those dates
yes.
again?
Okay. We are going to be on next Tuesday.
It is next Tuesday.
It is next Tuesday, the 17th.
Pardon me?
Oh, no, that isn't next Tuesday.
Nope.
Next Tuesday's like the 3rd.
That's after Labor Day. We're talking 2 weeks from
Are
now.
you
to
talking? Yeah,
Tuesday.
so it's going to be a while, so we can bring it up again.
Wait a
later.
minute. What's next week?
It would be the day after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Should we do a show the day after Labor Day? I
Well,
guess we should.
Why
Well,
wouldn't
no.
we?
I mean, are you gone? When are you leaving? The 7th and 8th? Are you gone somewhere?
Well, no, I have to leave early because
You
I'm
have to leave on
driving to
Wednesday?
Atlantic City. Yeah, I have to leave on Wednesday. So next
Oh,
Tuesday,
yeah, let's-
we're going to do the show next Tuesday, and then also we're going to do a Tuesday show on the 17th.
on the 17th as well.
That's what I was mixed in up.
Okay.
So is that right? So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Is that how we're doing it?
17. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so I did get it right. Okay, my bad.
All right.
So
but
next week
next
will
week we're on
on
Tuesday.
Next
Tuesday.
week, next week will be Tuesday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. I don't know what time in England. Take off 6.
6 hours. Yeah.
So 1:30 in
1:30.
the morning in London.
Right.
Okay, that'll work for me. Anything from the chat room there?
Are you serious about exhibition Wednesday night before Stage 6 at Dirty Bull?
Yes, I'm serious about it. I'm talking to a couple of people. We'll see what we can't get arranged. I know somebody talked to somebody at the Dirty Bull, so we'll try to get that going. I'm going to be out there. I think it'd be fun to see this. It's like their newest art bar.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was pretty cool. They were streaming some stuff out of there, and I got some peeps.
You gotta
out
have.
in LA,
You gotta have
so-
peeps.
yeah. So I got a guy that used to live in Antioch.
kinds of
is
peeps.
living out there now, and then Chris Latham's a good friend of the show. He's out there now. I've been in contact with him. I'll try to get a hold of Howard Myers and stuff. So
Anthony Idremia of Eugenia.
Anthony, I dream of Eugenia.
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Idremia
We'll
of
work on
Eugenia.
it.
It's not I dream. You say I dream.
It says
You guys-
Idremia.
I know, but it shouldn't be.
You guys can email
They
suggestions.
can say whatever they want to.
Yeah, you guys, if you got good nicknames for the players, just email them to darttalk@gmail.com, and we could use the help, and we'll work them in as best we
exactly.
And we'll reveal Steve's nickname next week that Mark and I came up with.
can. Yeah. Anyway,
So please stay
thanks
tuned.
everyone for
Next
listening.
Tuesday.
We'll be back next Tuesday, 7:30 Central. Until then, Steve Pounce-Hellman for Mystery Mark.
Everybody have a good,
chat
safe
room.
holiday weekend.
Safe travels,
Happy
everybody.
Labor
Happy Labor Day.
Day.
We'll Dart Talk
Woo,
to you next week.
woo.